All right, we are live. We are recording. Okay, what up, everybody? This is my first kind of guest podcast. We got a guest on the show today. I'm really excited you guys are tuning in. And taking the time out of your busy day to just you know sit down and maybe listen to us two boneheads talk. So how I usually will start this is kind of the quote of the week. I really like doing that. So here's what I got for you, John. This can relate a lot to you because we both kind of look
Okay.
up to that person. Here's the quote: "What's there to be happy about? Job's not finished." Kobe Bryant. Classic. Kobe Bryant. That was when he won the game 2 of the 2009 NBA championship series, and the reporter comes up to him and he's like, "You guys should be happy. You're up 2-0." And he's like, "Is it done yet? Do I have a ring?" Kind of thing. Like that's just so it's so empowering. It's so like keep grinding, keep putting your head down. Like the work's not done, and the work will probably never be done. So that really stuck out to me this week. Um, John, do you want to give your thoughts on that little quote?
I love Kobe. I love the Mamba mindset. You know,
Mentality, maybe.
never give up. He was always in the practice and locker rooms. You can always tell the players really looked up to him, and he pushed them harder than anybody else, probably even the coaches, honestly. And Kobe is he's so inspirational, and he inspires me, man, every day just to be better mentally, physically, spiritually. And like you said, the job's never finished and we'll never be satisfied. Just got to keep working towards that goal that we set for ourselves.
Absolutely. All right, so that is quote of the week. Thank you, Kobe. God rest his soul.
Peace.
But we're gonna get into it now. I want to just kind of give you guys an introduction to why I brought John on. So, John, kind of tell us about a little bit who you are. What you do, what you're trying to pursue.
I graduated from Solon High School. Ryan was a year below me, and we met during track. I'll never forget because we started. I think Kyle introduced us, and we started talking to you first, and then we started talking about the gym. And oh my gosh, you're lifting too? No way. You want to lift together? Yeah, bro, let's do it. And I don't know, it just kind of ripple effect from there. And I'm currently in West Virginia right now, studying health and well-being. I'm a senior, and kind of excited to get out of here. Not gonna lie, pursue my own, start a new chapter of my life. But I want to be going to physical therapy, maybe physical training. Just being inside of a gym for my life would be the goal. The ultimate goal is to own a gym. That would be super ideal. And yeah, I'm an aspiring bodybuilder. I take inspiration from Ryan of his two competitions, and I look up to him because of that. And the OG gym bro is never gonna leave. Always got that brothership. But yeah, that's who I am.
So, we talked about Kobe, and he's kind of somebody I look up to. I know you look up to him as well. For a lot of people, but who's somebody that you look up to? It doesn't have to be a really big, super popular figure or super famous person you look up to. Well,
I I'm actually gonna say my mom.
okay.
I look up to my mom the most out of anybody, because she's shown us at such a young age how strong she is mentally and how she can overcome things that I couldn't even imagine people going through. Um, her life story before she met my dad is something that will always stick with me. Um, and she has raised me the right way, you know, respect women, respect your elders. Um, don't get too hot-headed in times where it might be easy to do so. And, just her sticking around for me and me being there for her and her being there for me is just it's just one of those things, she's very strong, independent woman who can do a lot of things by herself. And that's what I look up to. I look up to her ability to do things on her own and not need anybody else to really do it with her or for her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out all the moms out there. We love y'all. We would not all be born without you, so we appreciate you. Shout out my mom. Love you, mom. Um, but yeah, that's really great, man. That's really great. So we're gonna get into the kind of the question discussion kind of view today. I got 5 really good questions I wanted to talk to you about, just because I'm really interested to hear what you have to offer. Your your brain is wired pretty much the same way as I am for the most part. Like every time me and John go to the gym, we'll say something. Like one of us will say something, and it'll be like, "Oh, do you like this, or do you enjoy doing this, or do you not like this?" And it's the same. Like we're the same person. We'll say the same exact thing. It's ridiculous. Like, oh, what were we? What was that one time? I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and watch the Outdoor Boys," and bro he was like, "You watch the Outdoor Boys too?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't really like his son though." And then he goes, "I don't like his son either." Dude, that's crazy. Um, but
We're
yeah,
like neural linked.
yeah, me and John are like the same person, but he definitely has, some knowledge I'm trying to pull from that brain of his. So,
Picking
yeah,
my
let's
brain
start
more.
with question one. How'd you get into fitness and working out?
All right. So my uncle he's not a bodybuilder right now, but he at the time during COVID is when I started my lifting journey. But I really looked up to him because I was like, man, he's got the frame, he's got the build, and just seeing his experience being up there on stage. He's never actually won a competition. He started very late and he went into, I believe it was NPC, and he's a natural bodybuilder. He's never taken anything in his life. So it was really hard for him to place on stage. I think the highest he's gotten was like maybe sixth, but that's besides the point. I've always looked up to him, and I'll send him some pictures of me sometimes. And my grandma, which is his mother, always comments on my TikToks and stuff and my Instagram. And he inspired me to get into bodybuilding. And my dad had a set of equipment downstairs in the basement, and it was a really old rusty bench that he found on Facebook Marketplace, and some dumbbells that, you had to put on the metal weights and then screw it on to the side.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah. And my dad had this fitness routine DVD, something called Body Beast. And I forget the dude's name. I think it's Sergio or something. I, I,
Sergio,
could I could be completely wrong. Was that?
Sergio Oliva, maybe?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so. But he's like, does the beast want to get pumped? Does the beast want to do this, do that? And he would take us through an entire workout of stuff. And I always wrote down my workouts and I tracked my calories. And I really fell in love with the feeling that I got after I worked out. The endorphins were pumping, the blood was pumped. I went upstairs and I looked in the mirror. I was like, man, this is awesome. And then I took my first pre-workout, which was C4. I remember the very specific day that I first took my first ever pre-workout. I took it. I'm like, man, this ain't nothing. 15 minutes later, I'm sitting down there going, I mean, tingles and
Tweaking.
oh,
You were
I
tweaking.
was tweaking, bro. And that just spiked my addiction even more. It was like I love this. I love the feeling. I love the community because I started getting into C-Bum and all those other bodybuilders, Arnold, Mike Menser, whatever. And I once COVID was over and I got my first sense of the gym, I really wanted to join a gym. So
Mhm.
I didn't have a job yet because I was so young. And with my last $20 in my bank account, I got my subscription to Planet Fitness. I had my mom go in there with me.
Money well spent. Money well spent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I remember walking in there for the first time. I don't know, it was probably 12 o'clock on a random day. And first thing I do is go to the benches or the Smith machines, I guess. And I had the bench flipped all the way around, so I was benching the opposite way. I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely no. This is like a jungle, like an absolute zoo. And I was terrified, dude. I was so nervous. And all I can remember was people walking up to me going, "Hey, I'm gonna have you do this and do that." And it's like, wow, these people actually like understand where I am in my journey and are willing to help me
Mhm.
be the guy that I set out to be. And that alone, the community in the gym and the people there were like really made me stay.
Mhm.
And I started going before school. I would wake up at 4:30 every morning. I loved it. I loved it so much. 4:30, my dad would wake me up. I'd drink my pre-workout, get some food in me, whatever, banana, and then I would go straight to the gym. And I would do this for probably 6 months, and because I ran into track season too.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I met a lot of guys and realized that the biggest guys at the gym are normally going to be the
Nicest.
nicest people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they look and train so hard and they're so scary looking, and then you go up and say something like, "Oh yeah, I can totally help you out." Like they're so nice.
yeah, it's awesome. I'll never forget this guy. His name was Jeff, and he was the biggest dude in the gym. I mean, he was probably in his late 50s, maybe early 60s, but he still had so much muscle mass for a man for his age. And he would give me the most advice in the gym that I've ever heard of this at this time, right? I still have no idea what I'm doing. I have a basic understanding of the movements that I need to do for each body part and whatever. But I remember him really coaching me along and talking because what high schooler is there before school at 4:30 in the morning? Nobody.
He's working that hard. Like,
And every time I would go in there, it'd be the same people, right? Same thing. And he was like, wow, this guy's really dedicated to his craft. He saw the potential in me and was like, you know what? Maybe if I give this guy some advice, he'll actually take it and not just brush it off. And then after that, we got into Alpha Legends, Onyx, Alpha Legends stage. And this is when I was really starting to lift with you. And it's like, wow, this dude is huge. Dude's so big. I was always so intimidated by you, Ryan.
why?
You're
Why?
so cute, bro.
I was at that point when I met you though. I was kind of like I was a little too big for my age. I was gaining weight too much, like too fast. I was
Yeah.
eating everything in sight. It was ridiculous. It was probably unhealthy at some points because I would go home because I always like envied you because I knew you went in the morning and went to the gym in the morning, and because I was playing football at the time, like I went like I tried to do stuff in the morning, but I would just like pass out at like noon or 1 o'clock. I'm so tired. I've grown to like get up early and do that stuff now, and it doesn't really affect me. But like getting up early for me was hard in high school, and I got up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, which is still early, but not 4:30 early. So when I would go to school, I would have football practice right after, and I wouldn't eat anything between school and then we had on the field and then the lift afterwards. So again, not great nutrition, but I would always pack like you know ground beef and rice for lunch and stuff. And you remember I used to down chocolate milk. That's
Yes,
where the
bro.
problem was. That's where the problem was. I would have two of those
Yes.
chocolate milks and it would be like 800 calories. But I would go home and I would just eat anything inside. That was probably the because I was like, oh, I need to bulk. Oh, I need to get all these calories in. And I'm like, yes, but like tailor it back. You don't need all.
Right, right. And you gotta keep in mind too, I was a buck 50 running track, or sorry, buck 30. I was a buck 30 at this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was benching for a track, and remember not even being able to put up what 95 pounds on bench for 5 reps.
Mhm. Yep.
Like, I remember so vividly. I was like, "Damn, this is so hard. This sucks."
Yep. I remember. I don't know if you ever been to Reminderville.
Yes.
That gym. Yeah, I remember benching a plate. Like I was training to make the sophomore basketball team or the JV basketball team as a sophomore, and I'd go in there and like I would just play pickup and like work on my skills and stuff for about 2-3 hours, and then I'd go lift. I remember being 135, 40 pounds as a freshman, and I'm like, I think I benched maybe 135 for 2 reps, and I failed the
Yeah.
third, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. I remember it. I Nobody was upstairs, like nobody was in that room, so I'm like, what do I do? I got clips on it, and I was just like, oh god, and I rolled it down. I rolled it down, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just.
Was that your first time bailing?
What's that?
Was that your first time bailing from a bench?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because I had never, I was so, because I never went to failure at that point, and I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
I could get another one, and I was like, oh, what do I do? Like you go into panic mode, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. But
Yeah, it's scary.
yeah, yeah, so awesome. Okay, yeah, dude, this just takes me back to high school, like signature lifts.
I know.
Oh my god,
The signature lifts, man.
dude.
Remember when we did the, Ronnie Coleman leg day?
And I cramped up before the squats. My god,
Yes.
who wouldn't? I think I would do that now.
Yeah. I
Ridiculous.
I know. It was crazy, and we were lunging in the parking lot, back and forth, back and forth.
Hey, we should well, next time we train, we should actually do that, but do it as a finisher.
Yes. Yes, dude, I'm so down.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's for time's sake, let's move on to number 2 here. Um, what or when was a time in your life, like so far in your life, either good or bad, that has changed you?
It's changed me. Okay. Um, so, as you know, I came to school with my girlfriend at the time, and, things were going pretty decently. I think it was about a year and a half in, and I think it was around finals of that, yeah, so April of freshman year. I can feel her, kinda, like, drifting away, right? And me being the immature man that I was, I tried to cling on to that, the last parts that I had of her, and, obviously it didn't work, right? Because the more that she's running away, the more that you're pushing, she's gonna run away even faster. It's just how it works. And I remember the night that she finally was like, "Yeah, I'm done," and just broke up with me. And this is my first like real breakup that I've gone through. And I remember sitting in the common area, talking to my mom, just like bawling. This sucks. This really sucks, and it hurts. And after we get done talking, I go and take a breath of fresh air, and I'm walking around the track. They have some like outdoor track. It's like gravel or something. Um, and I made a promise to myself that night that I'd never be that weak again mentally, because it's one of those things where it really takes a toll on you. Yeah. So every time that there's a new situation that arises where I feel that kind of way, I always have to remind myself that I made that promise in that common room to myself that I'll never be this weak.
Yeah. Wow.
Because my weakness pushed her away. My weakness as a man pushed her away. So that really changed my perspective towards life in general. is to really not let your emotions dictate how you live your life.
Mm, mm, that was powerful. That last little
Yeah.
bit, I love that. Um, yeah, I knew about that, but not that story on the track. That's
Mhm.
actually quite interesting.
I haven't told a lot of people about
Yeah.
that. And now it's gonna be aired, so
Well, like I said, like I can always cut that out if you're comfortable.
nah,
You know.
nah, bro, you're good.
Okay. Like
It's so far behind me now that it's just like, you know, it's just a stepping stone.
absolutely. I mean, now that you're that's honest, that's awesome. Now that you're like, willing to share those type of things, like it's gone. It's out of your life.
Right.
It's over and done with. So yeah. Proud of you, brother. That's awesome. Um, let's move on to number 3 here. Um, in regards to going to the gym, and let's say you're exhausted. I know you worked a hard labor job like I did. And you pull up to the gym, or you get home from the gym or from work, or so, let's say, and you're exhausted. You don't want to go in. You don't want to even think about the gym. Your body's toasted. What do you tell yourself? Like, how do you push through that? I know I have a couple things I tell myself, a couple of just, I kind of put myself in that mental fortitude, and I just really got to thug it out. You got to thug
Yeah.
it out.
Right.
But what do you tell yourself, man?
So there were a couple days um when I was working with Don. For those of you who don't know, I worked as a construction laborer on a job site. It was residential, so it wasn't anything too crazy. But at the same time, I was the mule, so I was running around doing a lot of things, lifting heavy things because these guys are old. They can't do a lot of things that they could have done 20, 30 years ago. So I was basically the heavy lifter. And I remember there were a couple days that I would get home and I would just be so, so tired. And if I didn't fall asleep, I would tell myself that I would remind myself the first time that I looked in the mirror when I was a buck 30 in high school, thinking, where can I take this? Where can I take my body? How hard can I actually push myself? Because I see all these fitness models, I see all these guys online, excuse me, that would really train hard and really push themselves to the absolute limit. And I'm like, why can't that be me? Why not me?
Mhm.
Why not me?
Yeah.
So I would go home just completely exhausted, just slumping around. And honestly, I don't really have to tell myself a lot right now because it's just habit,
Mm.
right? You get to those points where it's like, if I don't go to the gym, then I'll feel even crappier than I do now, you
I always
know?
tell people like the feeling you get when you don't say you're gonna do something, or you say you're gonna do something and you don't end up doing it, is so much worse than actually doing it. It's the cold hard truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there'd be some days where I'm like, you know what? If I just go to the gym right now and get it out of the way, get it out of my system, I got all this pent up emotions after work, and I'm just like, I'm either angry or I'm sad or I'm like tired. You just gotta leave it all at the door and go in and do the stuff that you need to do, right? Because we all have goals, we all have things that we want to accomplish, and what's the saying? It's uh goals and ambitions without action is anxiety. That's what anxiety is.
Mm.
Goals without action or ambitions without action. And whenever I wouldn't go to the gym or wouldn't get my food in properly, I would always get anxious. Like, dang, I really skipped over that meal. Dang, I really skipped over that workout because I was tired. And I learned from trial and error not to do that. It makes me feel like crap. So I would tell myself, what would a little bro do? What would little bro do?
No, that's
Because,
honestly so true.
yeah, because really it's all for him.
Yeah.
It's just all for him. That's why I keep pushing.
Yeah. Would your past self would he skip this workout? Would he miss a meal? Because the cool part about that is, as your younger self, going back in time, you don't have the results yet. So of course you're a little more motivated because you don't have anything. And then when you have it, you're more susceptible to be like, oh, I already have like decently sized arms, a good chest, or big legs, whatever. You're like, oh, I can skip to that. I can take the rest of that. No, no, it's not how it works. So I don't know. I think that's really powerful to just think that your past self and just,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
fight it out, man. Fight it out.
absolutely.
Uh, so you talked about our in track season in high school, and that's where we kind of met. When we talked about us connecting with lifting weights. So for me, question: do you think that, like, let's say we take fitness and working out of the equation, do you think we'd be friends?
It depends. I think, yes, if we met under the right circumstances,
Mm,
I 100% do think that we would still be friends. But I think that through lifting and through the gym is where I found my best friends. You know,
yeah,
I uh I think that lifting was a big part of it, but I love making new friends. I love meeting new people regardless. And Kyle knew you through whatever he knew you from. So chances are if we would never worked out a day in our lives, we're buck 30 walking around skin and bone, you know, and he introduced me to you, there's a pretty good chance that we would still be friends. Like 100%.
yeah,
Because it's not just us going to the gym, it's your personality and it's your mental state, right? Because we both think alike. We're like you said in the beginning of the episode, we're basically the same person. And if we're the same person, chances are we're gonna be friends regardless.
yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I think the gym for us plays such a huge role because if we didn't work out together, we wouldn't be as good of friends as we are. I don't know. I just that thought kind of popped in my head. I wanted to ask you it just to you.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. It's a very good question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So going back to kind of you and your fitness goals, so what are some kind of goals that you have, not just in the gym? I want to talk bigger, small, current, or future projects that you want to work on or possibly want to accomplish in your life. So what are some goals you want to accomplish in life, big or small, current or future?
So right now, obviously, I'm planning to just graduate college, get my degree, get out of here. Um, but I would say if all else fails and I don't end up getting a job as a PT or maybe a physical trainer, I would love to do online coaching. That's what I would like to do. Um, and it's been hard to get clients and post the right things. It's a very specific algorithm, very specific people that you need to reach. But that's honestly a big goal of mine is just to give back and help people that I see myself in, right? People that are starting the gym don't really have any big expectations, but are willing to put in the time and the effort. And I think if I help them through that first beginning stage of, okay, what am I doing? How do I eat? How do I train right? It's one of those things where I can really help them propel into the next stage faster than I did myself, just from self teaching. So giving back to the people that I see myself in and the people that I think will do good with the knowledge. Like if I can tell just by talking to you that you're not very goal oriented or you won't do the things that I'm telling you to do, is it really worth it?
Right.
No. Um, but some other goals, small right now, I'm trying to gain a little bit more weight and pack on a few more pounds right now.
It's a never ending battle. We're always trying to pass on the pound.
It really is, really is. But long term, really, it's just to have a family, you know, and have that family and Jesus in the middle of that family. That's my main goal. Not necessarily white picket. Doesn't have to be white picket. It could be somewhere out in Montana, have a ranch, or in the city. Just having a family in general, I think, is my main goal in life. And I think that's a lot of men's goals in life. That's like the main goal for most men is just to have a family. And whether you're religious or not, you know, put Jesus in the middle of that family. So, because, we were, I was born and raised Catholic, and we went to church, and I wasn't really super into all that. I hated going to church, man. I
Mm,
absolutely despised it. I
so
remember sitting there going, "Why do I need to be here? Why are we coming?" You go Christmas, Easter, and a bunch of other Sundays when we had the time. Um, and I didn't really see the importance of it until that situation with my girlfriend that I was talking to you about. That really set in stone my religious viewpoint and standpoint. So
yeah,
that's yeah, that's my main goal is just to have a family.
that's awesome. I love that you touched on religion because marriage is like the focal point of the Catholic faith. I also grew up Catholic, you know that. And I really resonated with what you said because when I was younger, I would literally argue with my mom. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And she's like, We're going. And of course, she'll drag you. You're,
Yeah, right,
but
right.
it was, I think I read what was that quote? Okay. It was in Job, the book of Job,
Okay. Book of Job. Yep.
chapter 5, verse 18. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I read it about a couple of days ago. It was really interesting because it's a super simple verse and it goes like, God gives you pain or God gives you tribulation, let's say. I don't know exact. I'm trying to like I know the general like outbook of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's like God gives you pain, but God also heals. So it's like God will send you these trials and tribulations and speed bumps, if you will, in your life. And obviously, we're not done with life yet, and He's still going to bring us more and more. Um, and through me, like it was prep. Prep was it almost killed me. I'm not gonna lie. It was really, really hard to do that and then have two jobs. It was just I was at a breaking point. And when I reached that breaking point, I finally turned to God and I asked him for help. I was like, I'm so vulnerable and I'm like it got to the point where I had to ask him every single day. Like I think it was maybe 8 weeks out. 8 weeks out was like the breaking point where I was like, oh my God, I have 8 weeks left. And I kind of just every day I got up and I'm like, God, just get me through one more day. Give me one more day. And it worked. Like I I got through it. He
Yep.
got me through it. That's why I've kind of turned to God um just more recently. Like my faith is stronger than ever because I have seen him do miracles in my life. And that's just one being an example. Um yeah. Sorry, I just kind of ranted for a
No,
little
dude,
bit,
that's amazing, bro. That's awesome.
but yeah, that I totally agree. Like when I was younger, I didn't get it. Didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Just never got it until you actually go through the things
Hmm.
that God sends you. He's knocking at your door, man. He's knocking at your door, knocking, knocking, knocking. You can choose to let him in, or you can let the devil crawl through the window. I think that's the saying is the God knocks, the devil crawls through the window, or something like that.
Hmm. My dad. Okay, we'll talk about it a little bit more about our faith, but we do need to. But my dad actually told me a story where he saw this. I think it was a YouTube video or something. Where the guy in the YouTube video was like describing, "Oh, I don't want to fully give my faith to the Lord, but I don't want to give my faith to the devil. I just want to be in the middle." And at the end of his life, he comes to, he dies, and the whole room goes dark, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then he sees the devil, and he's like, wait, I wanted to be in the middle. I don't want either one of you. And he's like, let the atheist would look at it. Uh, and the devil comes up to him and he grabs him and he goes, I own the lottery. I own that middle part. So it's like, I don't know, I thought that was really powerful. Again, total side topic, but
Yeah. Can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
exactly.
Mhm.
All right, so let's move on here. I like this question. Um, how has our friendship kind of changed over time?
So, I think because we had more time to lift when we were younger, um, obviously friendships grow in, they grow out, but it's one of those things where we've been through so much together and we understand each other that it's really hard, even with the distance that we have, it's really hard to break something like that, you know? And it's, you're quite literally my brother from another mother, you know? Even though we're not blood related, you're still my brother. I've been through your first prep. I was there for your first prep. I was there for your second prep.
Like the first prep didn't even count. I was fat still.
Yeah, yeah, it was a trial run.
Try.
It's still prep, and we've seen into each other's minds more than regular friends would. Like acquaintances or something. Oh, because we went through so much stuff with each other, and we shared that raw emotion, and we shared our experiences, and we know each other on a deeper deeper level that it's harder for our relationship to break than just your standard relationships. That's what I was trying to get at.
No, yeah, I totally agree. In our high school days, it was like I found somebody. Like in high school, I was kind of a little more quiet. I had a lot of friends. Um, towards the end of high school, because when you're a senior, you kind of know the ins and outs of the high school. You kind of know most people in your grade. And I played football. That's like a big, massive, massive group of people that you grown close with.
You're around 24/7.
Absolutely, yeah. So especially like that's why it's kind of hard for people that don't play sports in high school. Like you can maybe find a club, but clubs max have 10 members. I feel like or something like that. But for when we were playing track, and that's a massive group of people. Um, I really gravitated towards the connection that we had. It was like, oh, you enjoy doing something that I really like to do, and not a lot of other people do this.
Especially in high school, dude, I couldn't find anyone that liked lifting as much as you and I did.
Yep, 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 yep. I remember because I would we had the football program that we were on, like all the lifting, and I was like, you know what? This isn't hitting this muscle group the way I want it to. So I'm gonna go home after that and I'm gonna hit more. Oh, like, oh, what was it? It was with Coach Coley, because Coach Coley got concerned for me at one point because he was like, how much are you doing outside of my program? And I'm like a whole nother split. And he was like, for those who don't know, Coach Coley was our strength coach in high school. He asked me, he was like, "You're supposed to be playing basketball. Like, why are you getting? What are you doing? What are you eating? What are they feeding you?" And he was like generally concerned. And I'm like, "No, I'm doing your workout and I'm doing my workout." And then I'm again going back to the eating. I was eating a lot of food. Um, I remember my dad would actually we'd get into arguments because I would just eat the fridge practically, and he's
Eat
like,
everything.
"I can't go to the store, or my mom can't go to the store twice a week, like, we just can't do that." So,
I think weren't at one point, were you paying for your groceries at one point?
I'm doing it now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, now you are because you're in college, but weren't you still living with your parents buying your own groceries?
It depended on kinda where our expenses were, like, let's say we're paying for a lot of stuff, and, like, my mom's got, like, a car payment, or, like, she's gotta take it into the shop or something like that. She was just like, I don't know. She wouldn't directly put it on me to go get groceries. She wouldn't say that, but I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go buy groceries this week
Yeah,
because
because
like,
you kind of feel bad because it's really expensive to eat the food that you need to build muscle.
yeah, no, it definitely can be. Especially if you go to the store and you buy your like supplements, like your protein powder is gonna cost you like 40 to 50 bucks per tub, and it's yeah, it's nuts. Especially the vitamins. The vitamins are so expensive, dude.
I know, dude. It sucks.
Yeah.
We have a deal going on at our Kroger where it's a buy one get one for certain vitamins like fish oil or ashwagandha, and
Oh
I've been
shit.
abusing it, literally abusing it.
As you should, bro. As you should. um. Hmm. Those are all the questions I had, but I feel like
Okay,
we could. I
I
know you
have
said I was gonna say you
question.
wanted to expand on some things, so
Yes, I have some questions for you.
oh god, oh god.
So the guest turns into the host. This is my
Oh
show.
no, no. This is my show. You can't ruin this. No, I'm playing.
Say inside the shell. Yeah, it's inside the Adornetto podcast. Let's do this. So
All right, hit me. I'm the guest now.
yes. So for the young men out there that are watching, how can they deal with loneliness that men feel on a daily basis?
Okay, good question. So, um, so like how you talked about it earlier, when talked about something good or bad that changed you, in your direction or kind of outlook on life, was your girlfriend. Your girlfriend broke up with you. I had that kind of happen to me too. But I think I got into that relationship for kind of the wrong reasons. Like I was lonely. I was a really lonely kid, throughout high school. I had relationships with girls, but they didn't mean anything and they didn't last very long because I ended them because I was like, it doesn't mean anything. I don't feel any value in having a relationship with somebody, especially when they didn't value kind of the things I liked. So I was just like, okay, well, let's look at this in the grand scheme of things. I'd rather be by myself and kind of figure out what I want to do with my life and kind of go and take the direction I want to take. Or I could stick in a relationship I don't want to be in with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, so in
100.
high school, I don't know. Um, it was just, I felt sometimes it's a good thing to feel loneliness. I feel, um, right now, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm a little lonely. Like last night, I work a new job. I'm not working at Discount Tire anymore. Not working. I'm working at a restaurant now. So I work later shifts. The whole idea is why I shifted into working at a restaurant is 'cause I could get more hours. I could get paid more. Do a little bit less manual labor. So that was kind of the point behind it. And then it just fit well with my schedule. My schedule just kind of didn't allow a lot of hours at Discount Tire and being a mechanic. So I went into that. On the drive home last night, I got off at like 10:30. That's late for me. I don't go to bed that late ever. Um, I actually ended up going to bed at 1 because I worked on the podcast that's coming out on the 28th, so Saturday tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, I was kind of feeling it. Like you get these moments of overwhelming loneliness, but they do subside. They do for at least for me, they come in waves. Like you'll feel really bad and you'll be like, "Man, like I wish I had somebody to talk to right now." Like I love being alone. I love having my solitude in the morning in when I study, like that's things I can just walk in and focus on. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm a little lonely sometimes, and it's okay to feel like that. We are human. We are made to feel emotions and experience things throughout this life. So for me, dealing with loneliness has always been a challenge. But for me, the biggest tip I can give you if you're struggling out there with loneliness is Um, it's not the best thing to do, but it's what I've done is fill your schedule. Um,
Yes,
if you are working towards something, if you have a lot of things on your schedule, don't like obviously overdo it and don't do too much stuff because then you run the problems, you run the risk of your schedule and then like your responsibilities. So it's like you have all of these things that you're doing on your schedule and it's you part of your routine, but then you have your responsibilities, which routines and responsibilities are two totally different things.
absolutely they are.
Um, so for me is just stay busy, stay stay driven, try to I have this new side topic. I have this new um canvas extension on my computer and it has my assignments in a checklist. And when I finish them, it checks them off and it'll cross it off. Like
That's
visually,
cool.
it'll cross it off and it's super helpful. Um, but I look at that every day and I'm like, okay, these 4 or 5 things need to get done today. And it gives me an outlook for the rest of the day and gives me momentum to just lock in and get it done. I would say biggest tip for me is fill your schedule, stay busy, don't be too busy, but work towards something and try to every day get up and get after it, man. So that's
Right.
probably the biggest thing I
Yeah.
got from you.
I'm gonna build off that actually. And what I wanted to say is there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, right?
Mm,
Sometimes I think loneliness can be one of the best gifts that God can give you because it really allows you in more of a spiritual level and a deeper level. I'm going to take this down. Is it really forces you to to know yourself. If you're not comfortable with yourself, you're not going to be comfortable being alone, right? And as you know, my roommate Patrick, I've known him since 5th grade. He moved out, so he's back home now, and I'm living by myself. And before the school year even started, I was stressing like so much about just, okay, what am I going to feel? How am I going to feel like waking up alone, doing everything alone? And I've kind of gotten used to it because I'll tell you what, being by myself for long periods of time would annoy me because I wasn't comfortable with being by myself.
interesting.
And it kind of forces you in a way to get to know yourself better, to get to know what you like to do, and maybe even new hobbies or interests could arise from that. And I think it's a great thing that God can put in your life is being lonely
Mm,
because it forces you to do other things.
yeah.
You have to occupy your mind unless and if you don't, you're going to fall into a state of depression, right? Because men with no purpose are typically more depressed than others. And that's been a big thing for me is just being comfortable with myself, doing the things that I like to do on my own time. So that's one advice and one tip that I can give to people that are either living alone or feeling lonely in your life right now is that and other people are going through this as well. So you're never going to be alone. There's other people that are feeling lonely right now. So you're never ever alone.
Yeah. That's awesome. Um, I definitely agree with the lonely and being alone part, how they're two totally separate entities practically. Um, I'm kind of mad that I didn't touch on that before you did.
I'm telling
um,
you, bro, I got some bangers.
yeah. You got some bangers out there for sure. But yeah, that is huge. Especially right now, like I'm so busy. I'm actually trying to work on seeing my family more. That's like a big thing for me right now. What sucks is I haven't made it a priority in the past, like, I wanna say month and a half, just because 'cause I'd be getting home so late. I'd be getting home at, like, 8, 9 o'clock, and that's just from going to school. I got 3 classes a day, plus I study for 2, 3 hours, and then I go to the gym right after that. And then, that's a whole day for me, and then I'll come home, and I have an hour with my family, and I'm trying to pursue more time with them, Just because, if I'm being honest, I'm a little lonely at times, and I want to come home to my family and talk to them, talk to actual people, and have interactions. Obviously, I'm in a club here on my campus. It's called Crew. It's just like they do a Bible study every Monday. I'm there for that. It's a great community. So I have friends on campus. That group is a couple people that I know in that group that I'm friends with. I actually have people in my classes that I talk to. So, but they're not deep deep connections. They're just now. Of course, I could strive to deepen those connections, and maybe I might choose to. But as of right now, they're just kind of surface level. Like, oh hey, like you know them, you're friends with them, but you're not. It's not like us. Like, there's friends, and then there's like
Acquaintances?
deeper root
Oh,
friends
yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. We have a crew here too, actually.
Oh,
I went to
sweet.
one of their I went to one of their Bible studies 2 weeks ago on Thursday, and I wanted to make it a priority to go every Thursday because it's every Thursday at like 8:30. It's super late, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It was a really cool experience. Because I thought it was gonna be some, like, typical smaller Bible study, like, my friend hit me up and he was like, "Hey, there's this new Bible study, and I've seen you've been posting these things on your Instagram story about Jesus and stuff, and I just wanted to see if you wanna come with me because it was his first time too."
Oh, cool.
And I thought it was gonna be some, like, AA meeting, circle in a chair, like, "Hi, John," kinda thing. But no, it was a huge lecture hall full of people, and we got into Genesis, and
Mm,
I'm telling you, this I don't even know. He's just some dude who runs the whole thing, but he deep dove into Genesis 2 like I have never seen before.
mm,
Like it was insane how much he just pulled out and then put back from Genesis 2. I was like, I didn't even know that
yeah.
much stuff can come out of I don't know how many verses there are in Genesis 2, but it was really cool. It was a cool experience, and time's just been slipping, and my classes have been, not making excuses or anything, but I've been really busy, so I haven't been going. But I would like to make it more of a priority because
Yeah,
it's really
absolutely.
cool. If it's anything like yours, I think it's really fun.
Oh, it is. It's not that. So what we do is we have like a big overall group, and we'll like talk about a verse, but then we'll break off into like 4 or 5 smaller groups. Because my school is a lot smaller than yours, but it's a group of like 30, 35 people. It's still a bigger group, so it's like we have this big kind of introduction piece, and then we break off into.
Good. Is there like an instructor for each group, or do you guys just talk about
So there's not instructors, but like there's leaders. So there's
leaders?
student
Yeah, that's a better.
leaders. Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
They're just in my grade or something like that.
Yeah, so you're not there like getting done with talking and just kind of looking at each other like,
No,
you
yeah,
know,
it's not like that. They
yeah,
they
yeah.
propose questions and they make you think. So
Good. That's really good.
yeah. All right. What other
Well,
what other questions you got for me?
I have something written down that I think we've already touched on a little bit, but it's faith, purpose, and the search for meaning.
Mm.
And like I have a quote, like if you don't really like know where to go, it's like, what legacy do I want? Yeah. So like you as a man, what legacy do you want when you're gone? What impact do you want to have on this world?
Bring it up. You just like shot me in the face, pretty much.
You said you're going deep, so I'm going deep.
I'm glad you came prepared, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. I love that.
Yeah.
What kind of legacy do I want to leave? Uh, I would say kind of a more basic answer would probably be a provider. If I have a family, provide for my family. That'd probably be a big one. Probably a basic answer.
It's not basic at all. It's really good.
No. Hmm, I'm trying to find a way to put it into
It's
words,
tough.
but I feel like my purpose on this planet, and why God put me here, is to make an impact on people's lives just by being who I am, living my life, and people seeing that and reflecting on my life and being like, "Oh wow, look at all these things he's doing." My goal is to be like, pursue my passion, my dreams, and have people see that and go, if he can do it, and if he's striving every single day and working his butt off to do it, maybe I can put the foot down and be like, put the Xbox controller down. Maybe I can put the bag of Cheetos down. I can put uh I can get up, I can go for a walk, God forbid. And I can just get after it. Like my purpose, I feel like in life is just to inspire people to go after it. Go if you're out there and you have not like defined your path, when you find it, you'll know. And you'll get up every single day and go, all right, today's the day. We're just gonna go in and I keep saying get after it. That's like the
Oh,
biggest
yeah,
thing I
yeah,
can
yeah.
say.
Yeah,
I just want people to look at me and think, if he can do it, I can do it. And know that by looking at me, I'm also human and I have hard times like everybody else. But if people can see that I've worked through these problems, I've worked through these constant trials and tribulations in my life, they can reflect on that and go, okay, maybe it's not so bad. I can work through this. So my goal, and I think that God's plan for me, is he put me in maybe your life, John. He put me on this planet. He put me in this school. Just the other day, side topic again. I apologize, but in the gym, after I competed, I was in the gym working out, and I still had the tan on, and I full of carbs, and I felt really good, and I looked really good. These guys came up to me. It was maybe 4 or 5 guys. They came up to me. And they're like, "Are you on steroids?" And I looked at them dead in the face. I was like, "Definitely not. What's pumping through my veins right now is cheesecake. I'll tell you that." Uh, But we got into more of an in-depth conversation, and they all four told me that they wanted to take steroids. And I looked at each of them, and I was like, "Guys, keep in mind, I'm the same age as you. The only reason I look the way I do is because I started this 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago."
mm,
It's insane to say, but
I know.
it's like at the end of the conversation, he goes, "Wow, dude, you're really on top of things, and you kind of just inspired me to not seek for that shortcut." He's like, "I want to get my nutrition on track," and I see him sometimes on campus just walking by, and he'll tell me, and he'll be like, or not him, it was these two guys that were telling me, both of them. I'll see some of them walking around, and I'm like, "Hey, how's your diet going?" Hey, I'll like check in with them if I see them. And he's like, "It's actually going good." And he'll tell me, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for thanks for the advice that you gave me." Like, just simple things like that. Like, right now, I'm striving to give a compliment a day. I'll just go to school. I don't know what it is. It does something to me where I feel good
Good.
when I just give somebody a compliment, and that makes them feel good. So it's like people will see your positive energy, see your outlook, your future, and kind of what you are aspiring to be, and then they'll try to emulate that. Maybe not in the direct path I'm taking, but in what they are interested in. Going back to that main question of what legacy do I want to leave? I want to set the example and set the standard for achieving your dreams, man. And I really believe if because it goes for big names, and I'm not Chris Bumstead. I'm not. But if I can change somebody's life just by giving them some health advice, that that's awesome. And that's all I can really ask for life, is just to help other people in their faith, their family, their fitness goals, whatever. In every aspect of my life, I want to be the best I can, and I want them and others to be the same.
That's like that was a good response.
It was kind of a rant again, but
What's good? Like I went on a couple rants here, but
we're yappers, guys. We're yappers. It's all good.
yeah, we're yappers, bro. I mean, come on. We don't spend 3 hours in the gym doing workouts.
For real.
We don't actually work out.
My leg day today, oh my gosh. It took me an hour and 20 minutes, and it
That's it.
sucked. Yeah, hour and 20. Like my workouts are only
Good,
max an hour and a half now. So
good, good. Yeah, I find that especially when I go to my campus gym, I see a lot of people there that I know, and I kind of rant with them. But
mhm.
at some point, it's kind of like gotta gotta go through my set. But I found that the quicker workouts they get me obviously more pumped, but I feel better after
Yeah,
the quick
absolutely.
workouts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why I moved gyms. Like people ask, well, like, why'd you move from? I was previously at Powerhouse, and I'm like, I love Powerhouse. Uh, there were only two reasons. One, it was a little farther than the gym I'm at now, but the gym I'm at now is so much more less judgmental, and I don't have a lot of friends there, so I can like really focus on the thing I'm trying to train. When I go to Powerhouse, I'd be there for way longer than I'm supposed to be. I got a buddy Mason. So for people who don't know Mason is a super jacked strong man, and he's training for the Paralympics, and he's got one arm. Super awesome dude.
Also very good looking.
Very good
Okay.
looking, right? But but he just yaps. He's a yapper. Okay, I love the dude, but he just yaps. Um, I love him, but hey, he can talk. Like I think
Yeah.
he should start a podcast. Honestly, he'd probably do well.
He
Um,
should start a podcast. He'd be good
dude,
at it.
he should. He should. Um, but yeah, I think it's so important, like choosing a nice gym. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Are you
that's
going to Kings more consistently now?
that's the gym I switched over.
Okay. Okay. Like you completely switched over now.
Yeah, I bought the year.
Okay, good, good. You know what? I might do that with Onyx too. I mean, it's gotten to the point. I love the people that go there. Don't get me wrong, but one, I feel like it's becoming really redundant, and I need a better atmosphere for me to
Mhm.
train.
It's also really
Um,
close to you. Really
yeah,
close to you.
it's like really freaking close. Like I could basically walk there if I wanted to. Um, yeah, it's just a lot of people that like to talk don't really get their work done.
Hmm.
It's like I got stuff to do. I didn't as much as I love you guys, I didn't come here to talk. I came here to work. I came here to train. I came here to
Yep.
destroy my muscles in the best way possible.
Exactly. Yep.
So,
Yeah. Sweet.
but yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with the campus gym here too. Is I have another subscription to not another subscription. The campus gym is free, but I have a subscription to a gym called Pro Performance, and it's like right down the road. And the best part about this gym is nobody goes there. Literally nobody. I go in there, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock, and there's 5 total people in the entire gym that I don't even talk to, and it's peaceful, it's awesome, I get great lifts there, they have great lighting, and whenever the gym is too packed and I can't get a machine, I just turn my butt right around and go to pro. It's really peaceful, it's nice, it's a
Yeah.
nice gym,
Awesome.
and I'm blessed to have something like that that I can
Yeah.
resort to
Yeah.
if I'm feeling I don't really wanna talk today, I just wanna train.
Yep.
Boom, straight to pro.
Yep. Awesome. It's great that you kind of have that that little kind of break because I've talked about it in previous podcasts where I'm like the gym is my break.
Mhm.
I don't listen to any music anymore in the gym. It's if you ever want to try it, I think the
Yeah.
hardest part is getting ready and preparing for a really big set. Like, today I hit legs. I had a big um hack squat set and I was like nervous for it. Uh, but I think what really led me to do it is kind of just like David Goggins, he's the crazy man, right? But I read in his book maybe a month or two ago when I finished it. Um, he told me he's like, "Who are you without the headphones? Like when you take these headphones out, who are you and what's your mentality? Is it the same? Are you going to put the same amount of effort in as if you have like 3 days grace in your ears? Like, are you the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Because I literally sometimes tell people that I pull a David Goggins and forget my headphones at my house just so I can remind myself who I am without them.
mhm.
Because if I
it's,
forget
it's,
this, there's so
yeah,
many people that will just turn around and go home and grab the headphones. It's like, nope,
no,
I'm here. I'm gonna get this work in. I don't. care about the music, even though it helps me a little bit, it's not really gonna change the outcome of my lift. I'm still gonna go in there and put maximum effort, you know? And they're all like, "Oh my gosh, why would you do that? That's so stupid." I'm like,
Mhm.
"You're stupid," you know?
Yeah. I think I just got tired of my gym playlist too because it got so repetitive, and I was just like, yeah,
Same music.
maybe if I take a break, it'll hit harder the next time I listen to it. But really, I don't know. I just think it's also more peaceful. Like I
Yeah.
after that leg extension set I had today, I'm like, man, I just did a pretty a pretty hard set with nothing that's boosting my brain to go, "Oh, I need to push harder." No, that was all me. It was all me.
Mhm.
So, yeah, when I failed and I got down and I couldn't get back up, I was looking up at the ceiling like, "Dang, that sucked." But you have this
Once you got out,
overwhelming feeling of like pride.
yeah.
You're proud of yourself because you're like, "This is harder than with."
Yeah, it's a great feeling, especially on leg days. That's when I, like, forget my headphones the most out of the majority of the days. Because a peaceful leg day with no music is one of the most euphoric experiences ever. And I know people at home are sitting there watching us going or listening to us going, "Yeah, these people are crazy. I'm not gonna try anything that these weirdos are saying." Like, no, seriously, give it a shot. Seriously, like, take your headphones off, put them in your bag, turn them off, put them in the deepest corner where you have to like pull all your stuff out to grab it so you're not tempted to grab it, and just hit the lift.
Mhm.
And I'm telling
So
you, the experience and the euphoria that you get from that is 10 times it returns in tenfold. It's awesome.
yeah, it is. Absolutely. So, do you have any other questions? Because I have one that we can end
Okay.
on.
Okay. I do not. Those
Okay.
are my 2 deep questions for you.
Awesome. They were really good. You set me on a rant, so good job.
Appreciate you.
Um,
I had
but,
to come prepared, man. I had to.
uh, but I think my question for you would be, we talked a lot about the gym in this episode. We talked a lot about faith, talked a lot about, kind of who we look up to and kind of how our outlook on life is and really just what our paths are, right? So obviously we have really busy lives. We're both in college. You're about to graduate, which is a huge, huge step in your life, and that's gonna change drastically. You're gonna go into a new phase. So dealing with that, and we talked about loneliness as well. Um, dealing with all these things in your life, what's your break? How do you find solitude and all these crazy things going on? I know we talked about the gym kind of being that safe space.
Mhm.
But is there anything else that you do in like your daily practices or whatever that really just give you like a peace of mind just to relax and just take, 5, 10 minutes to yourself or whatever it is. But what do you do that kind of keeps you sane besides the gym?
So, other than the gym, I found that really my safe haven is either watching or binging a good show or watching.
Dude, okay. All right. Okay, that's fine, but what's the show of choice
Show of well, I'm rewatching Reacher right now because I
then?
haven't. I'm
Go,
not.
go.
Yeah, I'm scared to start a show and then not like it, and I just feel better starting a show that I've already watched. But
I'm holding out for Invincible, bro. I don't even watch any other shows at this point. January. January of next year, we're here.
hey, super off topic. When's Batman 2 coming out? The
Dude,
Batman.
we saw
Because
that
I'm
together.
coming
We
home.
need to see
Because I'm
the
coming
second
home
one
for that.
together. Um, I can actually look it up. I
Okay.
don't I know that they started filming.
Okay. I will say that other than shows and unwinding and eating my meal prep, um, sometimes I really like to just sit in silence for 10 minutes and just stare at a wall. And I like to it sounds weird, but and view my thoughts and my emotions through a like a lens almost. like a kind of a movie, like it's displaying as a movie. And I like to kind of take what I see and boil it down into like a deeper meaning
Interesting.
almost.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's really weird, but sometimes I'll just sit in this chair for 10 minutes and just look at the wall and kind of like reframe and see where my thoughts are going so I can address that. And I find that that's super peaceful and it grounds me.
Mm,
Like a long, stressful day, and there's no dopamine, there's no serotonin, there's no chemicals firing in my brain except for the thoughts that are going. And I just like to see where that takes me.
yeah.
You know, as weird as it sounds, it
No,
works and it really grounds me. Yeah.
yeah. No, I completely respect that. Mine's very similar, actually.
Yeah. Other
Uh,
than that, I mean, meditation, obviously.
yep.
I love
That's
meditation.
yep.
It's another
That is
form of
kind of
meditation.
no. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a form of meditation. What I kind of do is I wake up with a lot of anxiety because as soon as I wake up, I'm hit with all these things that I need to do for the day because I already know. I already know I have to do a lot. So I'm just kind of sitting there and I'll take 5 to 10 just deep breaths. I'll get up out of my bed, I'll sit on the edge of it and I'll just chill out, you know? Like that's kind of helped me. And then I usually been starting the day off with prayer too. I'll do my breaths. I'll start out with a prayer, kind of just thanking God, like, you woke me up today, you know? Simple, super basic, but really sets the tone for the day. And then obviously coming home when I'm starting to wind down, I might do like some recovery work, some stretching, or maybe some scripture reading at the end of the day if I have time. So yeah, those are kind of the things I do. My shower isn't cold enough at this point to do the cold showers. I'd be sitting there. I'm like, this is not doing a thing for me.
That is
So
mine. Sucks. It really sucks.
yeah,
Because you get down to the coldest temperature and you're like inching it down. You don't
mm-hmm.
want to turn it off.
Right. I'm like, okay, it's not even worth it at this point.
If you go too far, it'll turn off. But if you don't go too far, the water pressure is not even there. And it's like,
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
find the sweet spot. It's just not even there.
All right, brother. I really deeply appreciate your outlook on life, man. You are one of my best friends. Like I said, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for the listeners to listen to this. They're probably thinking that we are two really either dumb gym bros that are just talking about this, or they actually got something out of it, which was kind of our goal here today. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you guys.